Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Richfield's Lounsbury House. It's my privilege to introduce this morning the hardest working public servant that I know, a genuine man of the people, both great and small, and a voice in the wilderness for all 169 Connecticut cities and towns. Richfield's favorite son and my best friend, Rudy Marconi.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone today? Can you hear me?
No.
I turned it down too much? All right. Well, thank you for being here. And the first thing I want to say is thank you to all of you who have been with me for the last 7 months. I could take the time to mention each one of you individually. I have attempted to make the phone calls to thank you, and I know I have many, many more phone calls to go. But if it wasn't for your support, not only your physical support in terms of being out there and making phone calls and driving me and doing everything else you did, but the support that you've given me as a friend. And that's what this is all about. It's the friendships that evolve when you're involved in politics and the people that support you. So to all of you, I want to give you my most sincere thank you and special mention to Mark Robinson, who just introduced me as the campaign manager, to Dave Goldenberg for his tremendous sense of creativity and research that he did for me, and the advice from Kat Keogh as a scheduler, and Roger Garbo, and the list goes on and on. To all of you, thank you so much for your support. I will never forget it. But 7 months ago, when I stood here and announced that I was going to run for governor, I know that I did so because I wanted to take the lead and to really offer solutions to the frustrations that the chief elected officials of our state have been frustrated with for so many years, or at least 20 years under Republican leadership. And I did so because I wanted to stand up. Stand up for what? Stand up for the cities and towns in the state of Connecticut. The cities and towns where the rubber meets the road, where we talk in Stop and Shop, where we meet at Starbucks, and we discuss the impact of policy, the impact of decisions that are made at the state and our capital, the impact that it has on each and every one of you. And my concern and my belief has been that our capital, under the past leadership, has not been in touch, has not been in communication with the cities and towns, with you, the people. And that's what we need. So today, while those problems and my resolve to confront them remain, I have made a decision. And it's a difficult one, but it's a happy one. And happy in that the decision that I've made has been to end my campaign, which is sad, but happy because I'm so pleased and excited to be supporting the two individuals that are standing right behind me now. And to my left, Ned Lamont, and to my right, Mary Glassman.
Yeah!
Two people that you're going to hear more and more and more about. And you're going to listen because what you're going to hear is why they are the best, without a doubt, the best team to lead this state into the future. Ned Lamont, a successful businessman, a man who has dedicated himself to helping Connecticut. He didn't have to. He doesn't have to run for senator like he did several years ago. Does he have to run for governor? No. But he wants to. Why? Because he believes in his heart that he has the passion, the conviction, the answers to what Connecticut needs. That's the person we need to lead this state. And what impressed me most about Ned Lamont, the person, the friend, was his decision to pick someone, which I think was absolutely brilliant, to pick someone who understands cities and towns, because she has been elected 6 times as the first selectman of Simsbury, has served in Hartford in the at the lieutenant governor's office as chief of staff. Mary has, understands the inner workings of Hartford and can bring so much to this team, and that is Mary Glassman as Lieutenant Governor. I have had the pleasure over the last 7 months of sitting in many different towns, debating many different questions, talking to so many different people from across the state of Connecticut. I have been in the unique position to be able to listen to these two people, and most importantly, to be able to listen to Ned. And I've had the opportunity to listen to the other candidates. And as I sit and listen, and as it became my decision, not only to end my campaign, but to decide where I would put my support, that decision was easy, ladies and gentlemen, because Ned Lamont has the ability to pick the right people. He has the ability, which I am a firm believer in, to listen. And any politician who doesn't listen shouldn't be in the game. Ned listens. He looks you in the eye and he hears what you're saying and he wants to understand it. And he goes to work on it. And that's the kind of person we need, because the issues that we have confronting us at Hartford demand the type of person who is going to listen to the many potential solutions, but yet have the ability to pick the single solution that's going to represent the answers we need as taxpayers in the state of Connecticut. So again, yet another reason as to why I'm supporting Ned Lamont. We have some very challenging, and that's an understatement, believe me, challenging times ahead of us. And as we have traveled across the state, we know what the people think. Ned knows what the people want. We need a government that's going to listen to the people, a government that's going to rethink how we do business in Hartford, a government that is going to get the ship on course again and bring prosperity back to the state of Connecticut. His experience as a successful businessman, unquestionably, absolutely unquestionably, makes him the most qualified individual when it comes to understanding business. And we hear that time and time again that Connecticut is not business friendly. This man will change that. I have spent a lot of time, as I said, with them, and I am confident that both Ned and Mary understand Connecticut, not just as a state, but a great, great community of cities and towns. And it is for that reason today that I stand here offering my 100% support for Ned Lamont and Mary Glassman as the next team to lead the state of Connecticut. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Rudy, for that endorsement. It's, Ned and I are so honored and proud to be here in Ridgefield, in this beautiful town, in this beautiful place. We know of your love for the people of this community. We know of your love for the people of Connecticut, which forced you to spend your nights with us instead of your family, to do what you believe is best for the people of our state. This is a wonderful community, and it is a wonderful community because of the vision and the fiscal discipline and the leadership that you brought to this community. So we're proud to have you on our team. You know, over the last several months, we've spent a lot of time together on the campaign trail. We got to know the character of the candidates, we got to know their values, we got to know their priorities, and it's not by accident that Rudy and I are here standing before you on the same team supporting Ned Lamont for governor. We felt very strongly as we went along the campaign trail that we could make a difference. And Rudy and I put aside our personal ambitions to support what we believe is the man who can bring the change that Connecticut needs to our state. And over the last several months, I've gotten to know Rudy, his family's gotten to know my family, Ned's family. We're on the campaign trail a lot. We spent a lot of nights together. I can tell you, you are very lucky to have Rudy leading your community. You're very lucky. He is a man of great integrity. He's a man who, as you heard this morning, who says what he believes. He cuts to the chase. He's direct and he's honest. He's a man who has great courage to say the same things in the union halls as he does in the boardrooms. He says every day what he believes is best, not only for his community, for the people of Connecticut. And I'm honored that I am here with Ned accepting his wonderful endorsement. I think it's significant also that While we have put aside our desires, we see the goal that's best for the people of Connecticut. We've come together as CEOs who are looking for a partner in the governor's office who can bring about the change that Connecticut is going to need. We are here together to support a man, Ned Lamont, who can bring the business community back to the table in the state of Connecticut so that we can have a partnership with both business, towns, and our community. We're here today because we believe in a new generation of leadership, a chance to bring new ideas and bold and courage and integrity back to the office of the governor. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the next governor of the state of Connecticut, Ned Lamont.
I'm feeling pretty good right now. Let me just amplify on what Mary said. Ridgefield, you are so fortunate to have Rudy Marconi as your first selectman. And thanks for bringing along not just Rudy, but Mark and Susan and an awful lot of folks to this team. It means a lot. And as Mary said, we get a chance to know each other pretty well. We've been going on these candidate forums, we've been traveling the state, we've been going to labor rallies, we've been going to business groups, we've been going to town committee groups, and it's sort of easy to reframe where you are. And that's not Rudy. I can tell you, he has been consistent, he has been courageous, and he has been thoughtful. And that's what you need in Connecticut. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if you spent a little more time up at Hartford as time goes on. Oh, this is pretty beautiful. I don't know why you ever wanted to leave at all. But that is what Rudy brought to this table. When it came to healthcare, when it came to energy, in particular transportation, in particular the relationship between the state and our towns and our cities, and how we can make that a better, more productive relationship, and how you can have as a governor and a lieutenant governor, somebody who understands the towns and is your partner. We learned a lot, Rudy. I learned a lot just being with you, and I'm pleased to say that Rudy's going to be there helping to advise our team on sort of key policy initiatives as we go forward. And let me just say, when it comes to our towns and our cities, you probably heard that Mary and I were very pleased to get the endorsement of some of the big cities, big city mayors just in the last week or so. And there's sort of these false choices you get here in politics. You know, it's the cities versus the towns. You know, that's nonsense. And I like to say, flat out, that what we need, you do need prosperous cities. You do need smart growth. You do need a transportation strategy and a hub. You do need great schools there. We don't need more sprawl. We don't need more gridlock. We don't need all that's beginning to eat up the open space in our towns like Ridgefield. That's what smart growth is all about. So I would argue to you that our towns and our cities are aligned in where we want this state to be over the next 10, 20 years. And that's what we're going to bring, Mary and I, when we get to Hartford. I'll just say, we've had a lot of talk about lieutenant governors the last week or so. I could not be prouder to be here next to Mary Glassman, who is my running mate. She understands the towns, elected in her small town, elected overwhelmingly, elected in a Republican town. Rudy knows what that means. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's how you work with people every day and you come up with honest solutions. She knows Hartford. Let's face it, I'm the outsider. I'm going to go up to Hartford. I'm going to shake things up. I wasn't afraid to shake things up 4 years ago. I took on, frankly, the Democratic establishment as well as the Republican establishment. You need somebody who's willing to go up and make those changes in Hartford. But with Rudy and Mary, we've got a winning team. We're going to win for Connecticut. We're going to get a Democrat back there in the governor's mansion. We're going to be fighting for our towns. We're going to be fighting for our cities. We're going to get this state moving again. We're going to get this state growing again. We're going to put people back to work. And most importantly, this is a team that will win, that will win, that will win, beat the Republicans in November, and get Connecticut winning again. Rudy, your endorsement means the world. Thank you.